So, 32 weeks to go, and here I am in the sunshine with the Venture. This is the full-size Venture, which I didn't actually ever film on this Venture due to reasons associated with seasickness, but there were many different Ventures in the movie. I got to shoot on the full-size set that we had in the parking lot.
Very busy and chaotic tonight. There's partial Ventures in the sense that there was the full upper deck built at Stone Street Studios, and then of course all the cabins and holds and so forth. And then in terms of the entire ship, there's three. There's the full-size ship, which is built from a little coaster called the Manuia. Then there's our 12th scale model here, and then there's a tiny little one that we're using for extreme long shots.
And at the moment we're shooting the miniature Venture, a wonderful, incredibly detailed miniature that Weta Workshop have made, and Alex Funky and his great team are busy shooting the miniature ship on the stage.
Well, you always want to use the right tool for the job. If you want to do a shot of the Venture steaming into the sunrise, it'd be great if you could simply take a full-size ship out and steam it into the sunrise and film it from a helicopter. But if you have to have a ship in a storm, if you have to have a ship that's in danger, that's in extreme waves and so forth, well, that's very hard to film and very dangerous. It's much more practical to do that on a miniature, which is how our 12th scale miniature comes into play.
Our miniature at 12 scale is 14 foot long. Some of the storyboarded shots go extremely close to the surface of it, and therefore it has to be an extremely detailed model.
There are miniatures in the world that get built. Okay, 2.5 hours, I got to mount 800 rivets on this boat and then I can go home. Those are the miniatures that don't work. Miniatures that work are the ones where everything that's done was done by somebody who had a story to tell. What's the last time that they washed the deck? What was on the deck at that time? Was it animal droppings? Was it rust? Why are these rivets rustier than those? Because water trickles down off the lifeboat davit and runs on this post, so there's more water here, so it rusts more. But that's the kind of thinking that makes a good miniature builder.
One of the coolest things that bring miniatures to life is the lighting on them.
On the miniature Venture, we've got all the lights that were on the real Venture, all the bulkhead lights and the spotlights and the running lights and so forth. But we want to keep those as a separate piece of film. That's because we need to be able to, when we put the shot together, adjust the brightness relatively of all these different components. So that gets a piece of film that's just black except for just those little points of light, portholes and everything else. Here's a practical, one of the little scale practical lights. It's a waterproof bulkhead fixture. But as you see, it doesn't do much. But, okay, turn that on, please. We have an effects light which creates the glow that surrounds the lamp. So see, that way the two together produce the total effect. As with anything else in miniature photography, it's all cheating. It's all faking something so that it looks the way it does in the real world.
One of the tricky things with a miniature ship is not just making the ship look good and lighting it and shooting it. You've actually got to have the ship moving. It's one of those things that if it's not moving properly, you're going to notice it. It's going to give away the whole trick.
In the course of working out the ship's movement, a great deal of study was done by the digital guys and by our guys as well, looking at lots and lots of documentary footage of ships in different kinds of seas to look at things like how many degrees per second does a ship in a moderate sea roll.
So by using a very simple counterweight process, we can find the waterline of the model and mount the axis point through the waterline. And then as you can see here, just with the slightest of touches, I can actually get the ship rocking.
The three motions that a ship has are pitch, which is to say rising and falling the bow and the stern, yaw, which is turning, and roll, which is motion from side to side. So we need to have all three of those motions in this ship.
The only thing we can't do is vertical raise and lower, and they'll achieve that by using the camera. So hopefully next time you see it, it will be bobbing around in the ocean just off Skull Island. And if these people have done their jobs right, there hopefully won't be any way you can tell it apart from the real ship. So it's certainly a very, very enjoyable opportunity that Kong has offered us building this ship.